hasira inakuwa mingi zaidi. Kwa hata ukiona mtu akisema ati piga risasi usimuue, piga risasi na uue, hiyo ni sababu ya hasira.
You know, leadership is something else. It's totally something else. You know, I say this because a friend of mine was talking to me about, calls by Kenya Kwanza MPs asking Raila to shut up or move out of the coalition, of Kenya Kwanza, or rather the broad-based government. And I was telling him that, Raila should shut up, actually. He should shut up and let William Samoei Ruto lead. And I will tell you why as we go along. Raila is a very trusting person, very, very trusting indeed. Raila, vulnerable, and he is also manipulable. You remember in 2007 when there was this post-election violence, Raila actually went into an agreement with Mwai Kibaki, yet actually he had won the election. And this is what caused the differences between William Samoei Ruto and Raila. Because Raila is very manipulable. Because Kibaki knew very well that he had lost the elections, and he was willing to let people die so that he becomes president. And Raila agreed with Kibaki and actually shook hands with Kibaki, yet he had won that election. Similarly, right now, this is exactly what is happening. Rigathi Gachagua is using the youth to be killed. When he calls for these rallies, he knows very well that people will be killed. And he wants to manipulate William Samoei Ruto so that William Samoei Ruto can back down or get out of leadership. But William Samoei Ruto is not Raila Odinga. William Samoei Ruto will withstand this thing. I can tell you for sure. So, yes, I agree with those people who are asking Raila to keep quiet because leadership is quite a different thing. When you have people like Rigathi Gachagua who are willing to sacrifice his people so that they may be shot or injured, you need a William Samoei Ruto. And William Samoei Ruto is the right man for the job. So this is what it is. Unfortunately, has to be told as it is. Now, when it comes to these issues of police killings and police shootings, police shooting is a systemic problem. I would not say it's anything to do with one person, William Samoei Ruto. Police thing has been discussed. There was this police reform thing that was supposed to take place in 2007, 2008, I think. Recently, even Maraga, who is going into the streets, was in charge of some kind of police reform, which he made a report and furnished the government. This police brutality and those issues of training is something that is systemic, that has been there since independence. And you cannot blame it one man, William Samoei Ruto. And by the way, Rigathi Gachagua, what was he doing in GSU? Because he was a GSU police officer. You see, this systemic problem has to be dealt with as such. But people who are actually taking the youth, taking them to the street, whether there is the media, mainstream media, which apparently is working with the civil society and a section of some of the lawyers to actually fight William Samoei Ruto using these crude terms, which actually is costing the country, not only in terms of property lost or burned, but in terms of life. I really think that William Samoei Ruto is the right guy for the job, and the best bet for Raila Amolo Odinga is to support William Samoei Ruto until 2027. And I'll tell you why also. Structurally, William Samoei Ruto is trying to change the structure so that people of the entire country can benefit from leadership or from the benefits of this particular country. So let Raila Amolo Odinga, let William Samoei Ruto change some of these structural problems where resources can be distributed across the country and not specific people being in charge of certain resources to the extent that the rest of the people are not shareholders. I repeat, William Samoei Ruto is the right man for the job. And let me tell you, if Raila backs out of this government, he will end up being very irrelevant because age is not on his side. He is manipulable. He's basically essentially trusting, and he doesn't have those qualities of being able to manage hard heads who are actually in this country, including the civil society and these people who are hiding behind the media. But what do you think? Do you think Raila Amolo Odinga should back out of the broad-based government because of police shootings? I really want to know what you think about that in my comment section.